In a recent interview, Spider-Man trilogy director Jon Watts offered some advice for whoever is the unfortunate soul that's going to have to direct the next Spider-Man film, and quite obviously be under a lot of fire and hate from one of the absolute worst fan bases in existence. So once again, this comes at us from Jon Watts, and he recently talked to Collider about Spider-Man 4 and the next person who's gonna take the job. And he reflected on his time there, what he learned, and what the next person that takes the job can learn from what he has to offer as advice. So when asked about the biggest thing that he could tell the next person, he says, you have to be smart about this. And when you take the job, don't think you're going to do it better than everybody before you. Just because you say you're going to go in there, you're going to do it practically, you're going to have Spider-Man swinging around buildings, swinging on ropes, you're going to try to do it real, it's not going to look that good. Yes, you're going to have stuntmen. Yes, things will be done practically. But at the end of the day, the way Spider-Man moves is going to look dumb if you try to do it all practically, because it's just not possible. So he says you have to think about this very long and sit in meetings, and at the end of the day, you're going to realize CG is your friend. So when it comes to it, don't waste your time trying to reinvent the wheel and try to do something different when it's already been figured out. Go in there and make the best Spider-Man movie possible, because the people before you have already figured out what works and what doesn't work. And he's 100% right. Yes, there's been stuff they do practically with actors, but a lot of stuff you can't do practically. You're not going to have Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire swinging off of the Empire State Building or gliding or jumping from an explosion and shooting a web and using real ropes to swing around an entire building. That's not how it works. A little scene here or there to sell it, yes. But the action has to be CG, especially when you're doing things like that that are super dangerous. So, I agree with what he said. And the reason I said the next unfortunate soul is because no matter who gets the job, they're going to be under fire. Even if it's a director that everybody loves and thinks does a great job. Let's use James Cameron. James Cameron doesn't miss. Okay, you don't like Avatar, you might hate it, that's fine. James Cameron don't miss. If he was to be announced to direct Spider-Man 4, people will suddenly hate James Cameron. They will point out, oh, look at this film. This film wasn't that good. Look at how bad the CG in Abyss is. It's like, yeah, it's one of the first movies to utilize that type of CG. They're going to find ways to hate him. And everything he does will be wrong up until they do exactly what he wants, and then 6 months later, they will turn on him. Just like Jon Watts for No Way Home. So his advice is correct. Ignore everybody. Go in there. Look at what's been done before. Do your own thing. But don't ignore what's worked and what didn't.